But before that, we're going to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's got an idea. She's got a theory that I really want to touch on. This is a theory of what is causing this crisis in white male spaces. They're playing video games. They're watching pornography. Some of them, maybe even masturbating to cartoons from Japan. Hey, no judgment here. But anyway, so what is Marjorie Taylor Greene's... She's gotten to the bottom of this. Why is this happening? Let's watch.
What does everything tell you guys through Hollywood, through books, through music, through our entire culture is that white men are bad. White men, they're bad. They have to be pushed to the back. They shouldn't be listened to. But what that's done to your generation and
can we talk about this guy, by the way? Like, who is this guy? Like, I'm gonna look this guy's Twitter up. Real D Schmidt. Like, first of all, that's not a real name. Like, yeah, my last name is Schmidt. Like, what? How many followers does this guy have? This guy has 27K followers. Like, can we talk about real quick? Marjorie Taylor Greene, the right does this and the left doesn't. The left, like, honestly, even, like, let's even talk about the squad, right? Bernie Sanders, right? Like, the left and Democrats, they hate online media. Let's be real. Like, let's be honest. When have you seen recently, like, AOC going on a fucking podcast where the lead character has 20,000 fucking Twitter followers? You've never seen that, right? Like, that's never happened, right? Maybe unless I'm missing something. But, like, to me, that's hilarious. But also, so she's talking to a nobody, and then this guy's got, like, the green screen, like, skyscraper background. Like, this is embarrassing stuff. This is really bad. But she goes on here, and now he's got 1 million views on the clip. So anyway, let's keep going.
And even some of those a little older than you and those definitely younger than you, it has created hopelessness in many of these guys. Hopelessness, they're lost. They grow up in a broken home or maybe just a really bad home. No one is there for them as they're growing up. They spend time hours and hours alone, which is what do they do with their time when they're alone? They don't have an after-school job if they're in high school. Maybe they probably don't play a sport. So they're spending hours and hours time alone, which turns them to all kinds of bad things, porn on the internet, reading crazy stuff in chat rooms, and God knows who's in there and saying what they're saying.
I love how, like, she's just describing, like, her Saturday afternoon, right? Like, looking up porn all day and, like, yelling in chat rooms about, like, fucking Jewish space lasers or some shit.
A lot of time playing video games, and I know people don't like to demonize video games, but I do think that maybe has a role there for certain people. But what hopelessness brings...
So, okay, I want to talk about this. I want to disseminate this a little bit because there is, like, a little thing that's interesting here, right? Is, like, so the media, right? The celebrities in Hollywood, what are they doing? Well, they're not demonizing straight white people at all, really. It just so happens that straight white people are not setting good examples, right? So a lot of these mass shooters, straight white men, Trump supporters, right? A lot of these mass shooters, far right, Trump supporting neo-Nazis, right? So, let's be honest, there's not that many good examples for the white people. But, you can make that argument about any race. If you really want to, you can make the argument. It's not going to be a good one, but you could, right? But the media and celebrities and media and cartoons and television and music, right? Basically, this is a backlash to the idea that, oh shit, there's a black person who has like a #1 song on the fucking charts or whatever, and that's never happened in my lifetime, right? Like, oh shit, there's a black person on a popular TV show. Oh fuck, there's a transgender person who released a music video that people like. That's really what they're responding to, is it's like there's more room in mainstream culture for people that aren't white and straight and men, right? And so that room is being filled with people that are, again, not white, not straight, not men, right? And that triggers the white straight men because they're used to, in society, they're used to being able to, like, just walk through, like, when you're at Disneyland or whatever and you got the Easy Pass thing and you just, like, cut through the line. That's what they're used to on a daily fucking basis, right? And so when they see that alter, they feel like they're under attack. Are they under attack? No, they're not. But they feel like it's like a zero-sum kind of game, right? They feel like they're losing power, they're losing something, right? And that's like an ethereal feeling, right? And that's the thing, right? And then you have the right-wingers that like will look at that and they will try to, you know, craft like an ultimate weapon out of that kind of like subterranean feeling, you know what I mean? Right? Like, oh, you know, isn't that, you know, I remember, you know, when I was a kid or when my dad was a kid, all the cartoons would be white people, and it's a little weird that all these woke black people are on TV, right? And then Marjorie Taylor Greene comes to them and says, do you play video games? Do you jerk yourself off on a daily basis? Well, I got news for you. It's because you're being discriminated against and you got to join the MAGA cult, right? So that's kind of what's going on here, is like you take white people that like, you know, are they terrible people? Maybe, maybe not, right? But they kind of feel like maybe they're left out. And is it stupid? Is it illogical? Yes. But then you take that kind of like subterranean feeling and then you just wrap it in the conspiracy. You wrap it into, and that's how you get the people that go to like the Buffalo supermarket and murder a bunch of black people because they want to like, they think that, oh, if I murder 20 black people, then the white race will be saved, right? And they're like, you know, the race warriors, like that motherfucker in Christchurch, New Zealand, who's like, we're gonna save the white race from extinction. And, you know, like that's how you get this fucking shit. Right, that is like that is the end of the spectrum, right? You start off being like, you know, a nerd that jerks off to hentai, and hey, I'm just saying, no judgment here. I jerk off to hentai all the time. But then, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene says something interesting, and you get into it. You join the groups chats, and maybe you watch a couple of YouTubers, and they're saying all this stuff. 3 years later, you're shooting up a supermarket, right? And that's the through line here that we really need to understand. And I'm not, you know, I don't know what to do about that. I really don't. I have no idea. Like, there needs to be an alternate way that these people can enjoy life without turning to crazy conspiracy theories. And I think for most people, they're just like, they don't care about this stuff at all. But again, there's that group of people that, for whatever reason, maybe it's the zeitgeist steering them in this direction. But like, they're just more susceptible to these conspiracy theories, and then they become dangerous fucking psychopaths, right? So you need to cut out the problem before it manifests, right? What's the best way to fight cancer, right? When it's starting to develop, we like get an early cancer screening. Oh shit, we got some cancer here. Don't wait until you're Walter White fucking coughing up blood and passing out at the car wash, right? You know what I mean? And that's what we need to deal with in this country. We need to deal with the problems as they're starting and not as they're already, you know, manifesting negatively. Anyway, I think it's hilarious that Marjorie Taylor Greene goes on these like really small shows, and I really wish more like Democrats or left wingers would do that. Like when it, like someone in the chat said that Ro Khanna goes on small podcasts. Hey, can I get Ro Khanna on my show? I'd love to get Ro Khanna on my show. I got a lot of things to say to Ro Khanna. But you know, I don't. It's just weird to me that left wingers don't like. There's really less attachment to the base in my perspective. And you know, anyway, there you go.